Enter this sacred moment, where silence opens and the divine whispers to the heart. The downloads of the selected one have been increasing recently. You've escaped from hell with abilities that make your erstwhile foes shudder in sheer dread, overcome forces that would destroy normal souls, and survived the impossibly difficult. The story of your life reads like the best spiritual thriller ever. And now that you have survived, the universe is posing the most important query. How do we handle a budding legend? You felt as though invisible hands were moving pieces on a chessboard you couldn't see for years, if not your entire existence. Every attempt at happiness was thwarted by unexplainable obstacles. Every clear moment was followed by a sense of purposely created bewilderment. Chaos that appeared out of nowhere ruined any advancement. You were correct, but you were unaware of it. Those weren't wild victim mentalities or psychotic fancies. In reality, you were the target of a concerted spiritual assault by those who knew who you really were long before you did. Sitting around a table like a diabolical board of directors are practitioners, family members, and possibly even people you trusted. They're not only casually envious or spreading rumors about you. They're combining real funds and resources and using experts to keep you unconscious, sequestered, and persuaded that you're simply another human being in need. Because the stakes were so high, the investment was enormous. They were aware that their entire existence would fall apart like a house of cards during a hurricane once they realized who they truly were. Your realization was only sped up by every dollar they spent on your demise. Each spell they used to extinguish your light unintentionally triggered DNA sequences they were unaware of. Compound interest was applied to every profanity they hurled at you. They believed they were interacting with the regular individual who was susceptible to manipulation and control, a direct descendant of royal bloodlines, whose spiritual signature carries protection codes that predate their petty magic by millennia, was what they had provoked. When you learn that some of these conspirators are related to you, the betrayal becomes much more painful. Your gifts were planned to be suppressed by those who were meant to foster them. However, this was not your average jealousy or dysfunctional family. It was strategic spiritual warfare. They understood the danger you posed to their well-guarded power structures, their hoarded wealth, and their control mechanisms. So, not understanding that certain souls are just not able to be sacrificed, they attempted to sacrifice you on the altar of their own preservation. Recall those early years when things didn't make sense. The way some members of your family regarded you with a mix of anger and terror. The enigmatic diseases that medical professionals were unable to explain. Too coincidental to be random were the mishaps. The partnerships that ended right when you were ready to learn something significant about yourself. How chances disappeared as they were beginning to take shape. Friend, I believe this is your season of breakthrough. When you plant a seed in faith, you position yourself for a harvest beyond your imagination. The Bible says in Luke 6 verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." That's not my promise. That's God's promise. When you give, you're not just helping us spread hope, healing, and encouragement. You're opening the door for God to pour blessings back into your life in ways you can't even contain. I encourage you to step out today and use the Super Thanks button right here on YouTube. Whether it's $20, $50, or even more, give with expectation, give with joy, and watch how God multiplies it back into your life. Remember, your seed may leave your hand, but it will never leave your life. It goes into your future, waiting to produce the harvest God has already prepared for you. It wasn't all random. It was all planned by those who were aware of your spiritual royal heritage before you were. Every ritual they used to make you weaker ended up making something they couldn't control stronger. Every effort to stifle your intuition just made it more acute than ever. Every attempt to separate you from your spiritual endowments ultimately resulted in the activation of skills they were unaware you possessed. They believed they were up against a pornographic chess player. Instead, they learned that they had confronted a queen who was simply awaiting the ideal opportunity to display her full strength. This whole cosmic drama has been being seen by your ancestors. They have also been anything but passive onlookers. Spiritual security has been erected around you by generations of strong bloodlines, royal lineages, and mystical traditions that use frequencies that these amateur practitioners couldn't even pick up on. Your foes unintentionally summoned the fury of the forces that have been defending your lineage for generations when they attempted to curse you. When they tried to shatter your spirit, they found that some spirits are made of materials that only become stronger when pressed. They don't break. These downloads you are currently receiving are not only sporadic spiritual encounters. From cosmic headquarters, these are classified intelligence reports. Additionally, they are speeding up due to the expansion of your mission parameters. Now that you've successfully overcome their interference, your early warning system is recalibrating that intuition that has been screaming danger. Those coincidences that are too exact to ignore, they are proof that you are now directly protected by God, rendering their attacks not only futile, but also ridiculously outdated. Something else is going on right now that your enemies never expected, while you're learning the truth about what was done to you. The same individuals who contributed to your demise are now going through a disastrous unraveling of their own. Your spiritual army is putting in extra hours during those restless nights. Cosmic justice is being rendered with the accuracy of divine intervention in those plans that keep falling apart. They're casting frantic spells of protection, but they're no more effective than a water pistol against a tsunami. The irony's flawless justice is almost poetry. They put so much effort into trying to keep you from waking up that they ultimately planned everything with military accuracy. In reality, the universe itself performed an initiation ceremony during each of the soul's dark nights that they made you endure. Each treachery was a masterful exercise in discernment. The supernatural was at your side the entire time you felt abandoned, downloading survival codes straight into your spiritual DNA. You didn't simply go through hell. You overcame it so completely that you now own the keys to all the locks they attempted to install on other souls. You are currently going through a complete metamorphosis from victim to conqueror to cosmic agent of change. This is neither healing or recovery. You're not going back to your former self. You're evolving into the person you were always intended to be. Those who attempted to sacrifice you for their own survival are now powerless to stop you from reaching heights that dwarf their trivial power struggles. Your strongest weapons are now the same spiritual gifts that made you a target. The same intuition that they attempted to obscure is now capable of piercing any deceit. You possess more than just spiritual talent. You pose a spiritual threat to their carefully accumulated authority, their control mechanisms, and their lies. Yellow heart if you're moved by divine love. Now is the moment to share it. Click the Super Thanks button on YouTube and contribute $50 or more to help us broadcast God's blessings far and wide. Every act of generosity you make is being watched in heaven and will return to you 100-fold. All of the things they have based their identities on are in danger of dying because of you. Their delusions disintegrate when you tell the truth. When you assume your authority, their fictitious authority becomes glaringly apparent. Their darkness has nowhere to hide when you display your light. They were most worried that you would learn the fact that you are superior to them, not in social standing or earthly hierarchy, but in cosmic authority. Your heavenly DNA renders their earthly machinations as futile as attempting to use a teaspoon to govern the ocean. They can't even recognize the power sources you have access to, much less interfere with them. You are subject to security procedures that are ingrained in reality itself. Your voice has made those who attempted to kill you fearful, and rightfully so. They are aware that once you begin talking about what actually occurred, other people will notice similar trends in their own life. They are aware that your story has the potential to reveal a whole system of spiritual deception that goes well beyond your own experience. The systematic efforts to keep humanity's most powerful souls unconscious and obedient are threatened by your story. This has to do with something far grander. The mission for which you have been commissioned goes well beyond your own triumph. You are here to assist in the emergence of a whole new paradigm on Earth. Not all of the downloads you get are for your personal education. Sharing this wisdom with others who are prepared to awaken is necessary. Every truth that emerges from your experiences serves as a key to open the jail of another person. It was a cosmic event, not simply a personal triumph, that you came out of hell. Angels celebrate somewhere in the spiritual world. The ancestors are dancing. For the next stage of planetary change, the forces of light are coming into play. You didn't simply escape their assaults. You took their strength and turned it into energy to propel yourself forward. You accomplished more than just get beyond their barriers. You discovered how to view them as stepping stones to more advanced states of awareness. You are now being compelled by the same energy that got you through hell to illuminate the path for those who are still stuck in the dark. Your tale of survival becomes a path to freedom for another person. Your triumph serves as evidence that no weapon created against the chosen can ultimately succeed. Every other phoenix, still living under the delusion that they are merely common birds, finds hope in your resurrection from the ashes. They didn't anticipate that you wouldn't remain silent. You are now unstoppable due to the same strength that made you impenetrable. Spiritual boot camp is what you've gone through. The University of Hard Knocks is where you obtained your certificates. In the biggest change our planet has ever seen, you are now being called up to active duty. You're integrating wisdom, not healing from trauma. You're processing initiations, not recovering from attacks. You're not getting over your challenging past. You're transforming them into the very force you'll require to achieve your goals. Each scar serves as an honorific. Each tale of survival is evidence of divine protection. You are proof that something bigger than human will was working through you every time you don't give up. This trip began 3 days ago with downloads, but it was only the beginning. They were the activation of your divine intelligence network, the recalibrating of your spiritual GPS, and the coming online of your cosmic communication system. The highest commands encrypted transmissions, which appeared to be random music and synchronizations, confirmed that you had successfully finished the most perilous part of your mission, surviving your own awakening process while being fired upon by the enemy. The training stage has finished. The time for initiation is over. Now is not the time to hide your light under a bushel. Everything you need to not just live in this world, but change it has been provided for you. You should set an example for everyone who still feels helpless. Your tale should be told to everyone who feels alone. Every selected individual who remains ensnared in the delusion of victimization must see your triumph. The chosen one is what movies are made of. Generations are inspired by stories like this one. This change demonstrates that when human will and divine will combine, seemingly impossible things can happen. You've survived the ultimate spiritual drama and come out on top, not just as the self-rescuing hero, but also as the one who demonstrates to others how to achieve their own liberation. It is absolutely up to you to take full responsibility for your actions and assert your role as a guide for the emerging new Earth. Your training ground was the inferno from which you fled. Your credential is the victory you have attained. Your transformative instrument is the power you found. And the tale you have experienced is your gift to all other souls who must be reminded that those who do not give up on the light will always see the dawn. Because you've just stepped onto the stage for the most impactful performance of your life. And escaping hell is just the first act in a cosmic play that spans 3 acts. The frequency of the downloads that verified your escape is now changing, getting you ready for something that will make your survival story seem like a warm-up. The same forces that kept you safe during hell are now setting you up for a fate so amazing that even your adversaries will have to admit that you are a celestial being. Every film needs its moment of truth. The part where the protagonist understands that their struggle was about becoming someone who can alter the course of events rather than just surviving. With the intensity of a cosmic avalanche, your moment of truth is coming. And what you're going to learn will change not only how you view yourself, but also how you perceive your whole reason for being here. Those who attempted to ruin you didn't simply fail. They unintentionally produced their own substitute, a person whose spiritual DNA now has the combined wisdom of heaven and hell. Realizing that you are now functioning from a whole different energetic signature is the first step in your post-hell life. You used to be an unconscious force encased in human bewilderment. You are now walking in human form consciously. And for anyone who bases their identity on keeping others tiny, that combination is utterly terrifying. Your experience with spiritual warfare has rewired your energy field profoundly. There is now an unbreakable wall that not only protects you, but also actively reflects negative energy back to its source, when there may have once been gaps that permitted manipulation and interference. Those who once had the ability to exhaust you, perplex you, or derail you are finding that their old strategies no longer work. Their own energy is actually being jumbled and fed back to them, intensified, when they attempt to employ their old control mechanisms. This explains why your past tormentors are currently going through such drastic life changes. Not only is their spell work failing, but it is also precisely causing turmoil in their own lives. With the might of cosmic justice, their attempts to curse you are exploding. They are also learning that waging war on someone who is protected by God is tantamount to declaring war on the cosmos. Dove brothers and sisters, everything done in faith multiplies in God's abundance. Use the Super Thanks feature to donate $100 today and join this sacred mission. When your roots are grounded in Him, your fruit will flourish, and your offering becomes a seed that bears blessed harvests. Their decision to target someone who was never intended to be their victim is the root cause of every sleepless night they have, every plan that mysteriously fails, and every unexpected relationship breakdown. Realizing that your survival wasn't only about you is the second stage of your post-hell growth, because you have mission-critical information that others need to finish their own escape from similar hells. The universe has invested in your security. In addition to being a story of personal triumph, your testimony serves as a spiritual battle playbook that has the potential to free multitudes of other souls who are still ensnared in the same types of organized attacks from which you have just escaped. Not only are you expressing your truth when you talk about your experience, but you are also giving others a path to liberation. The same individuals who attempted to sacrifice you are now compelled to watch you gain power and influence that renders their prior dominance over you absurdly trivial. Family members who believed they could influence your fate are seeing you enter a destiny so powerful that their thoughts are no longer important. They recruited practitioners to keep you tiny, but now they're dealing with ramifications they never anticipated because their client's investment has backfired so dramatically. There are repercussions from your escape from hell that go much beyond your immediate social circle. Other selected individuals who have been subjected to comparable assaults are starting to identify the trends in their own lives. As more people realize they have the ability to fully escape victim awareness, the spiritual communities that make money by keeping people there are losing ground. As more people become aware of their actual identities and purposes, the control structures that rely on keeping powerful souls asleep are starting to fall apart. This is when your narrative, if selected, becomes legendary. You're not simply someone who made it through hell. You're someone who used it as a springboard for cosmic missionary activity. Each of your soul's dark nights has turned into a ray of hope for someone else navigating their own darkness. Your refusal to give up has proven that human determination, combined with divine will, can conquer any challenge. Each scar you bear has turned into a badge of honor that entitles you to lead others through comparable situations. Entering active duty as a cosmic disruptor of the mechanisms that imprison souls in oblivion is the third stage of your post-hell life. Those around you are now awakened by your very existence. People sense the frequency of someone who has been put to the test by fire and come out of it pure rather than destroyed when they come into contact with you. In the most exquisite way imaginable, you radiate the energy signature of triumph against circumstances that most others consider impossible. However, the cosmos has not yet completed your metamorphosis. The downloads you're getting are getting you ready for assignments that will call for every ability you acquire during your ordeal. You are now qualified to assist others in recognizing similar deceptions because of your capacity to separate truth from deceit, which you developed via surviving coordinated lies. Because of your ability to stay connected to the divine in the face of intense attack, you are now able to assist others in creating that same unbreakable bond. Now that you've experienced cosmic protection in the face of impossible conditions, you can instruct others on how to obtain the same safety. The most thrilling part of your life's film is about to begin, with a hero who overcame the unthinkable now applies their hard-won insight to assist others in realizing their own unattainable goals. For the upcoming generation of chosen ones who are only now realizing their own potential, your story is becoming into an instruction manual. You are helping to build a heaven on earth, and the torment you fled is serving as its foundation. You're learning now that the goal of your individual triumph was always to become a revolution of the whole. In addition to being scared of what you may become, the powers that sought to kill you were also worried of what others would be inspired to do if you succeeded. They realized that the complete liberation of one chosen individual may set off a chain reaction that would free countless others still imprisoned in comparable spiritual prisons. Not only was your escape a personal triumph, but it was also the first crack in a dam that will soon open and release a torrent of awakened souls throughout the world. Your tale is beautiful not just because you survived, but also because your survival is now the key to the release of others. Anyone who listens to your story and sees parallels in their own life is being given permission to overcome their own constraints. Every soul that sees your metamorphosis is being offered evidence that there is always hope for dawn for those who will not give up their connection to the light, regardless of how dire their situation may be. The biggest dread of your adversary is appearing in unexpected ways in front of them. Despite their best efforts to keep you unconscious, they unintentionally created their own worst nightmare. A fully activated chosen one who is spiritually empowered to reveal their game to others and knows exactly how it is played. Behind the curtain, you've seen. You are aware of their strategies. You are aware of their trends. Most importantly, you've previously gotten through their worst and come out stronger, so you're now totally impervious to their manipulations. They're currently in full panic mode because of this. Their protection charms are failing miserably because of this. Because of this, their well-planned lives are disintegrating like a hurricane's worth of cards. Since cosmic destiny doesn't compromise with forces that act against the divine will, they are attempting to wage a war against cosmic destiny itself. They declared the chosen vessel of God to be at war. Their prior position of dominance has been completely destroyed by heaven's prompt, resolute response. Your life has taken on the characteristics of a story that screenwriters strive to craft during their careers. Character growth, plot twists, and eventual victory over insurmountable obstacles. It all has the ideal dramatic framework to get viewers to cheer and stand up. But pick one. This isn't fiction. This is the true world you live in. You are now the main character in a cosmic drama that will motivate future generations of people to take control of their own destiny and overcome their own constraints. You are now eligible to assist in creating a heaven, and the hell you survived has become its foundation. Your triumph has turned into the evidence that others require to believe that victory is achievable. You will utilize the power you have found as a tool to assist others in finding their own power. And the story you lived has turned into the gift you will give to every soul that needs to know that, when supported by divine will and human will to never give up, light always triumphs, no matter how dark things get. This is the section of your movie experience that distinguishes the real legends from those who only make it through their hardships. Most movie heroes have their moment of triumph, their victory scene, and then the credits have rolled. However, your escape from hell is not the end of your film. That's just the beginning of the cosmic power you're evolving into. As you learn that escaping hell was only a qualifying test for a task So important that entire spiritual hierarchies have been changed to facilitate your accomplishment. The true blockbuster starts. Glowing star yearning to witness God's miracles firsthand? Plant your spiritual seed now by contributing $100 or more through the YouTube Super Thanks button. Your offering lights the path for others and echoes through His divine plan, bringing His light into every step you take. There has been a tremendous cosmic recalibration brought on by your awareness. Old predictions that appeared to be figurative tales are now materializing in your everyday life. With the accuracy of divine timing, bloodline activations that have lain dormant for generations are now coming online. Genetic information is no longer the only thing carried by your DNA. Its broadcasting frequencies cause people who are part of your spiritual heritage to awaken comparable codes. You have transformed into a walking activation key for the latent power that resides in innumerable souls worldwide. The way that reality itself now appears to bend around your presence is the most remarkable feature of your post-hell existence. Synchronicities are not random occurrences. Rather, they plan their own actions around you, much like a cosmic red carpet that is spread out wherever you go. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. At precisely the appropriate times, the right people show up. When you need resources most, they appear. A personal support system that functions from realms most people cannot even comprehend seems to have been assigned to you by the cosmos. Destiny Engine can permanently rewire your awareness to settle in this post-hell existence if you require assistance sustaining this reality-bending presence and keeping your own cosmic support system operational. It creates customized sequences to guarantee that possibilities continue to arise out of thin air and synchronizations continue to be orchestrated around your actions without reverting to previous limiting patterns. A $1 trial is available to begin with. Wearing headphones, pressing play, and letting your mind get rewired to sustain your post-hell reality-bending skills without looking for confirmation that it's actually occurring will be the most difficult thing you have to do. Software is not this. Through the removal of doubt and the maintenance of your cosmic support system, this consciousness reprogramming technique helps you live an incredible post-hell life. Results are unusual, but then, so are souls that have come out of hell with the ability to bend reality and personal dimensional support systems. Your existence on the cosmic red carpet is real. You're taking part in a cosmic endeavor to free souls from control structures that have held individuals in unconscious cycles for much longer than most people realize. Your old foes are learning something that is making them feel more terrified than they ever thought imaginable. They're understanding that their assaults didn't simply fail to obliterate you. They unintentionally set up a mechanism in you that renders their prior authority over others totally ineffective. Now, others who were imprisoned in comparable circumstances are coming after you because they have an innate sense that you hold the secrets to their own freedom. Other captives are being called to liberation by your survival, which has turned into a light. It's quite miraculous what's happening to you right now. However, it's the kind of miracle that was always going to happen once you demonstrated that you were prepared to put light before darkness at whatever cost. You are eligible for access to power sources that most people are unaware of because of your dedication to preserving your relationship with the divine despite tremendous pressure. You are no longer just using human awareness to function. You are operating as a combination of cosmic intellect and human awareness. Your life situation is changing at a rate that would seem unthinkable to someone who isn't going through it. Suddenly, doors that have been locked for years are opening wide. Now, people who had never seen you before are coming to you for advice. Opportunities that previously appeared to be reserved for others are now abundantly and effortlessly coming your way. You are now guaranteed to feel the full extent of heaven's favor by the same cosmos that permitted you to go through hell. Beyond your direct sphere of influence, your tale is igniting an awakening movement. Since you have previously demonstrated that escape is possible, other chosen ones who have been subjected to comparable spiritual attacks are starting to realize that it is feasible. Souls all around the world are ready to escape their own hells, and they are picking up the frequency of liberation that you are transmitting. A pandemic of spiritual awakening that no force on earth can stop has you as its patient zero. The fact that your resurrection from hell is bringing to light the actual character of divine justice is its most exquisite feature. Every individual who took part in your persecution is currently facing repercussions that are precisely designed to impart the necessary knowledge to them. The universe isn't merely keeping you safe. It's exploiting your triumph to prove that cosmic law is unquestionably real and unavoidable. Declaring war on a chosen soul has repercussions for the person who makes the decision. Your life has turned into a masterclass in the way that divine will works through people who are unwilling to give up their true power. There's new proof every day that you're not only getting by in this world. By being there, you're changing it. Many others who are still struggling for freedom will profit from the heaven that is being built on the foundation of the torment you fled. You're integrating the enormity of your current when, while downloading the coordinates for your next mission. Your task is broadening to include global transformation in addition to personal emancipation. Additionally, you are now in a position to be affected in ways that most people cannot possibly fathom, thanks to the same forces that got you through misery. The most magnificent part of the film of your life is about to begin, as the hero who defeated hell becomes the creator of a brand new one.